Hey everybody. Well, I've got a show for you today that's totally not what I was expecting to do. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Also, I'm not sure why the screen is square. It's been so long since I've done a live show that they've changed the software, and I don't know. Let me know. Are you seeing it full screen, or are you just seeing a small square on your screen? I'm actually very curious. So let me know. I am watching the chat. Not sure which way it is. There we go. We can hear you, Sal. Hey, Cruise Nuts, Traveling Grays, Rick, Ken, Mr. Pesco, lots of my friends online. We have 28 people watching. I don't expect we'll have that many people tonight, but this will stay on Facebook and YouTube for a week, and then I'm going to take it down. And you'll understand why in a couple minutes. So when I announced this video a week ago, sorry for the shaking, I'll stop banging the table. When I announced this video a week ago, the plan was to tell you where I've been and why I haven't put up many videos, and to make this my first video back. I am curious, so you are all seeing it in a square. I don't know why. I'm sorry, it's too late to change it now. I'll have to investigate before I do my next one. Deb's not here with me right now. Kind of wanted to do this alone. She's downstairs with her parents. I'll explain that situation in a minute. But for the purpose of this video, kind of wanted to do this alone. Let me check something real quick. Try fixing something if I can. All right, at least I got it not mirroring now. So this is going to be a really difficult video for me to make, and I'm quite sure over the course of this video I'll probably get a little emotional. So if I do, please forgive me. So a lot of you know the past. Oh, it is full screen. Cool. As you know, I've been making cruise videos for quite a long time. I was one of the very first cruise vloggers. I wouldn't even call myself a vlogger because I don't really do that many on board, like here's a tour of my vacation. My videos have always been more of helping you get the most out of your cruises, me and Debbie. And as of right now, I think we have like 800 videos on, but you really haven't heard much from me in about 6 months. So I wanted to tell you why, and I'm already shaking a little bit. So as many of you know, about, I don't know, almost 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with mouth cancer. The diagnosis Well, you know what? Let me go back even before that. Let's go back to 10 years ago. I was diabetic most of my life. And about 10 years ago, I became terminally ill. I became completely immune to my insulin. And the Cleveland Clinic, and for those of you who don't know, don't let the clinic name fool you. The Cleveland Clinic is one of the most well-respected and best hospitals in the world. They're absolutely huge. I think it depends on where you're watching it. About a year after they told me I have about 2 years left before my organs started shutting down, a doctor named Dr. Philip Schauer at the Cleveland Clinic called me because he had heard of me through my endocrinologist, which, if you don't know, is a blood doctor, specializes in diabetes. And they wanted to do a study, not a study, a surgery on me, experimental, to see how a form of gastric bypass would affect my diabetes. Now, I was terminally ill at that point. I had nothing to lose. So I did the surgery. And it was actually some funny stories on that surgery, but I'll tell you just the one funny story. I had to see a psychiatrist for almost a year before they would actually do the surgery. And the very first time we were there, I had to sit in this waiting room. And the waiting room was kind of neat. It was a square waiting room, and the door was here. But then to get anywhere, you had to go out the door and turn and go down a hallway. So you really couldn't see inside the door as you're walking anywhere. So the psychiatrist comes in on my first visit, and I'm sitting in one chair. There's an empty chair next to me. And Debbie's sitting like a couple chairs over by a power outlet because she has her laptop out, and she has her phone, and everything's charging. The lady comes in, and she says, "Mr. Patera?" And I says, "Yeah, that's me." And I walk up to the door, and she says, "My name's Dr. So-and-so." I don't remember her name, sorry. And just for fun, because it's a psychiatrist, right? She's evaluating my mentalness. I say, "Excuse me for a second." I walk back over to the empty chair. I put my hand out like I'm grabbing a little person's arm, and I say, "Come on, Pedro, let's go." And I start walking to the door with my invisible friend, Pedro, because I just think this is fun. It's the kind of guy I am, right? So we walk out the door, and we turn the corner, and we start walking to her office. And I stop her, and I says, "Hey, is my wife allowed to come with us?" She says, "Sure." So I walk back around by myself. I look in, and I says, "Deb, come on, you're allowed to come with me." So I walk back. I'm talking to the doctor. No sign of Debbie. So we take probably like 10, 15 steps down the hallway. No Debbie. Now, I didn't realize at the time, but she was busy putting all of her stuff away. The doctor looks at me, and she goes, "Mr. Patera, are you sure you have a wife?" Because, Pedro, right? I looked at her, I says, "Yes, I don't know what's taking her so long." So we walk down the hall a little more, and she looks at me again. We stop, and she goes, "Mr. Patera, are you really sure you have a wife?" I says, "Yes, I don't know where she's at." So we walk all the way down the hall. We're standing right outside her office, still in the hallway, and dead straight, she looks at me and she says, "Mr. Patera, I have a question to ask you." I says, "What?" She looks at me, she says, "Can anybody see your wife other than you?" And I just broke down. So finally, Debbie comes around the corner, all is well. I go through, I don't remember if I saw her once a month or twice a month, but a lot of visits with this lady. And it went very well. And on the last visit, she says, "Okay, I'm going to call Dr. Schauer, and I will go ahead and approve your surgery." I says, "Great." Now remember, this is a year later. I shake her hand, and as I'm about to walk out the door, I look at the empty chair next to me. I says, "Come on, Pedro, let's go." And out the door I went, holding his hand, my invisible friend's hand. Anyway, just one of the funny stories, but it's actually good to smile right now. You'll understand why in a little bit. So I went through with the surgery, and they saved my life. Another side, I don't have a picture loaded up, but I was also almost 150 pounds heavier. So that was an excellent benefit of it. But they did save my life. I wasn't diabetic literally the day after surgery. On a side note, they've done that surgery to 49 other people, I'm told, after me. Every one of them was a brittle diabetic, and every one of them came out diabetes free. To my understanding, it's 100% cure for diabetes. Unfortunately, the general public will never find out about it. And unless you have about $350,000 in your pocket, you'll never be able to get it. Reason why is insurance won't pay for it. It's way too expensive of a surgery. Because of that, the hospital won't apply for FDA approval for it, which costs them millions. So the only way you're going to see that surgery, unfortunately, as if you got a whole crap load of money. I was lucky. I was an experimental surgery, so mine was, didn't cost me a penny. So, but I got to tell you, when they told me I was going to die in 2 years before the surgery, I was a mess. I was an absolute mess, kind of like I'm a mess now. Believe me, I'm getting to it. Trust me. So fast forward, I'll say starting about a year ago, I started getting sick. And when I say sick, like almost like flu symptoms, except they were lasting a long time. Like the average duration was like 2 weeks. But I thought, it must just be my immune system. No big deal. And life goes on. So then about a year ago, I was diagnosed with mouth cancer, as I told you. I don't have to do chemotherapy, but I got to tell you, when they told me I had cancer, it was scary because right away I thought back to 10 years ago. All I do is rinse with an oral steroid. I think it's called prednisone or something like that. I do that twice a day, and I see my ear, nose, and throat oncologist every 3 months, and it's actually working. It's getting better. It's not completely gone, but it is better than it was. Unfortunately, being diagnosed with that set me into a little bit of depression. I wasn't completely depressed, like, go kill myself depressed, but enough to where between that and it gave me some YouTube burnout. And if you don't know what YouTube burnout is, Google it. It's a real thing. Lots of YouTubers, when they do a lot of videos, you just get tired of it for a while. You just don't feel like doing it. And that combined with my depression from finding out that I have cancer in my mouth, I don't know, just wasn't putting up a lot of videos, just one every now and again. And the hard part was that I kept coming on here saying, you know what, I'm ready. Expect new videos. This is where the channel is going to be going. And then one reason or another, I didn't put them up. And I apologize for that. I know you guys deserve better. You guys have been a very loyal audience to me, literally for about 5 years now, maybe 6 years. And I appreciate it. And the other reason for the burnout, I got to be honest, is, when I started doing, I like to do things original. And when I started doing vlog videos, I was one of the first, if not the first. Yeah, I know you meant about Pedro. Now, everybody and their brother's doing it. There's 1,000 YouTube channels of cruisers, and I'm not mocking them. To each their own. It's nice to be. It's flattering sometimes to be copied, and and I love cruise videos too. I watch them all day long. I love most of these guys. There's a few I don't care for, but for the most part, I watch almost all the guys out there that are doing it because I still love cruising. I still have my relationship with Carnival. We are still, to my knowledge, the only Carnival YouTuber that's actually sponsored by Carnival, which is very nice. And when I'm on board, I'm staff. So it's I'm crew, and I got to thank the people of Carnival for staying with me. So I decided to put up this video about a week and a half ago. And when I put it up, I have to be honest, my motivation was to not only tell you everything that's happened to me, but to talk to you guys about where I want the channel to go. And I still want to talk to you about that. But there's more. I get emotional, I'm sorry. But I gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of terrified. A second. About 11 days ago, I started throwing up regularly, 3, 4, 5 times a day. But more important than that, I started passing out. No rhyme or reason to it. I just would be walking, and the next thing you know, Deb's waking me up on the floor. I was only unconscious for literally between 3 and 5 seconds. Didn't last very long. Sometimes she wasn't there, and I would just wake up on the floor, what I assume is 3 to 5 seconds later. But as I was walking, things would just go dark, and I just end up on the floor. And Debbie says that this time, when she saw me do it, My eyes kind of just rolled in the back of my head and down I went. So I thought I was dehydrated because literally for the 2 weeks before that, our entire family was in bed sick for like 5 days. We all had the flu. So I thought, I must just still be a little bit dehydrated. So I kind of let it go. Started getting a little worse. So on Thursday, quite literally right after I announced I was going to do this video, I fell again. And Debbie convinced me to go to the Cleveland Clinic emergency room, the local satellite Cleveland Clinic emergency room, a smaller hospital, not the main campus. In the emergency room, I was dehydrated. There's no doubt about that. But, when you go to emergency room, they do a lot of other tests to kind of rule things out. The one test that they did was they did a CAT scan of my stomach, my chest, my head, my brain, all the way up, pretty much from my waist up. I was told that there were some abnormalities in my CAT scan. Didn't really know what they were, just some abnormalities, and that they wanted to transfer me to the bigger hospital. So I've been in the hospital until yesterday afternoon. Let me tell you what my hospital stay was like. First of all, Cleveland Clinic's an amazing hospital, and the doctors and the nurses and everybody, even the young lady who cleaned my room every day, were just the nicest, sweetest people you've ever met. So I thought I was going there naively, I guess, because they could have given me an IV at the satellite, at the smaller hospital, to get undehydrated. I figured I'd be there a night and that would be it. Well, when I got there, things were a little bit different than I expected. First thing they did, by the way, if you look at my Facebook page, you'll see pictures of some of this because some of it's kind of funny. They did lots of scans of my lungs, my brain, my heart. Not CT scans like I don't remember what it was called, but the head one was like they put the leads all over your head and, you got to talk and say certain things and they kind of monitor your brain activity. That was one of the first tests they did. Came back clean. My brain's good, sort of. I don't know. They told me I had no brain damage, but I think those of you who know me, so I'm a little screwed up somewhere. So maybe a little bit, I think. But that wasn't the end of it. The next thing I know, on Saturday, a doctor came in. They found a spot on my lung. Now, they're not sure, even as of right now, if it's the pneumonia or something much worse. So I'm on antibiotics. Let me rephrase. They think it's probably the pneumonia. They said about 70% chance. The other 30% chance is it could be cancer. So I'm on antibiotics now, and I'll take them for 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, I'll go in for another CAT scan. If it's gone, unbelievable. If it's not gone, then I got to go in for biopsy. There is cancer in my family. My dad died of cancer. My mom died of cancer. Pretty much everybody died of cancer. But you'd think that's the worst part. No, it's not. Yesterday morning, before I left the hospital, I was wheeled down to the heart department at about, I think it was about 6 o'clock a.m., maybe a little earlier, for an echocardiogram. Now, if you don't know what this is, it kind of resembles the ultrasound that they use for babies when, for pregnant women when they're looking at the baby, except that this is much more in detail. You can literally see your heart on the screen. You can see the valves, which is kind of funny. I always thought a valve just kind of did this, but it actually looks like two hands clapping. It's kind of neat. And then they take, they do that normally, and then they put, I forget what they called it, but bubbly water in your veins, little tiny bubbles. And that helps them see it traveling through the 4 chambers of your heart. Doctor told me it was just, preliminary thing. My age, my heart should be fine. I had a stress test before. About 5 years ago, I had a stroke, very minor, and I had no deficiencies from it. But they couldn't figure out why. Well, now we know. The reason I was passing out is probably not the dehydration. Turns out I have a hole in my heart. It's called intercardiac shunting. So here's basically what I was told. I'm going to try and draw this the way the doctor drew it and see if you guys can see it. Your heart, now I'm not a very good drawer, so we're just going to kind of go like this. Your heart has 4 chambers to it. Can you guys see this? I should have got a marker. Yep, there we go. All right, I'm just going to talk because I don't know if you guys can see it. Before you're born, the blood travels from the upper left side of your heart, the upper left chamber, and then it goes down, and that's dirty blood, by the way. Blood that's already been through your body. It's got very little oxygen in it. It travels from the top, goes down to the bottom atrium. Again, this is before you're born. It goes down to the bottom part. And before you're born, it actually leaves your heart and goes into your lungs because your lungs aren't completely formed and working, and they need the blood supply. I learned all this yesterday, by the way, by my cardiologist. Then after it's done with the lungs, it goes back into the top atrium on the right side, flows down, gets its oxygen there, and then travels into the rest of your body where your body uses up that oxygen, and then the whole process starts all over again. When you're born, your lungs develop, and the wall between where that separation is, because it actually, that hole is kind of between the 2 atriums where it flows into your lungs, closes up. Perfectly normal. Somehow mine opened back up. So I have dirty blood mixing in with the clean blood. It's not circulating all through the ventricles. It's literally just one to the other. Which is not good, by the way. Means all the blood you're getting for your brain, the rest of your body, doesn't have the amount of oxygen in it that it's supposed to. So what does that mean? Stroke, heart attack, pretty much a whole myriad of things that could happen any second. There are, from what I understand, procedures you can have done to try and fix it. I will see a cardiac surgeon probably beginning of next week. I'm actually surprised they discharged me. Even the nurses were surprised they discharged me. But frankly, I wanted to go home. I didn't tell them I didn't want to stay. And there was really nothing. There's nothing they can do in the hospital right there at the moment, except that if you have an event, you're close and you're there. But I'm close anyway. So, I mean, the ambulance is literally 2 seconds from my house, and the hospital is right up the street from my house. So they told me I could come home. But needless to say, I got to tell you, I am really, really scared. The only thing I can think of is, hey, I got cancer in my mouth. Might have lung cancer, apparently. I don't smoke. And now I got a heart issue, a major heart issue. This is not, it's not a simple thing to fix. If it's fixable at all, sometimes it can't even be fixed. So that's where I'm at. And yeah, I know I'm telling you a lot of personal information, but you know what? You guys are part of my family. There's so many of you guys out there that I've gotten to know personally, not only from watching my videos and responding to your comments, but through Facebook, through our group cruises, that you guys are part of my family. Debbie feels the same way. So I wanted to come on here and explain to you why I wasn't putting up videos. I was planning on telling you that, hey, starting next week, we're going to start going full boat, man. I got a whole crap load of videos planned. I got all kinds of footage. And maybe I can still do that. I mean, maybe taking my mind off of all this is good for me. That's what everybody keeps telling me anyway. I don't know I'm going to be... Hi, Rick. Yep, Rick's a very good friend and neighbor to us. I don't think I'm going to do any live videos for a while, because my getting emotional here is not fake. I pretty much been getting emotional for the last 24 hours since they told me. And, you know, I'm not so worried about me. Sorry, I probably shouldn't put a minute in my mouth. More worried about my amazing wife, my amazing kids, Dominic and Jamie, who I love more than life itself. So that's where I'm at. So I kind of want your thoughts. Let me know in the live stream here over the next few minutes. Let me know in the comments when you see this video. What do you guys think? Should I bury myself in making videos, or should I just take some time off and just some more time off? When I say time off, I do other things besides just YouTube. I have a life as well. Or should I take some time off of making videos and just try to get better? I mean, either way, I'm going to do my best to get better. That's where I'm at. What do you guys think? I'm reading your comments. I know, Rick, you and your wife and Tracy are just amazing. You've been good friends for a very long time, and we appreciate you guys. Hey, Tracy, I didn't know you were watching as well. That's what a lot of people are saying, Lexi, that the video may keep us. It's even cutting off the, I don't know why it's doing all that. It's keeping me busy, so maybe it's just tough, you know? It's just, I'm literally shaking. I've been shaking for the last 24 hours. You know, if it wasn't for my wife being here with me, who has held my hand every step of the way, I don't know, I'm just scared. Anyway, I think I'm going to read some of your comments for a couple of seconds, but that's probably where I'm going to end the video once I read some comments and answer any questions that you may have. Don't really have much else to say today. I can be honest with you, I had all kinds of fun stuff planned. I just don't have the heart to do it right now. I have some videos to show you, and, you know, just not there right now. However, I am quite active on Facebook, so make sure you send me a friend request. And I don't know if you know it or not. It's not there right now, but I will make sure I put it in the description down below. We also have a huge Facebook group. It's almost 600,000 members, where we talk about carnival cruising all day long. And I'm very active there as well. So if you want to, until we get back to video, and it could be next week, it could be next month, hell, I could be dead by next month, so it could be never. But until then, I will stay active on Facebook. I don't want to just drop off the face of the earth. That's where I'm at. Let me look at some of these comments, see what you guys have to say. And please, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, because I know tomorrow people are going to watch this video and they're going to say, oh my God, he's just looking for attention. Or I actually get, oh my God, he's looking for money. I'm not asking for any money. As a matter of fact, please don't send me any money. I don't need anything. I'm not doing this so that you all cry for me. I just, like I said, a lot of you guys are family and friends, and this is the easiest way to get it out there. I put it on Facebook, so a lot of people in the group know about it. I mean, I got thousands of friends in there. But a lot of you guys on YouTube aren't part of that group, and this is also being broadcasted on X. I know you're supposed to say formerly Twitter. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew what was going on as well, because you know what? Here's the thing. I love to make the videos. I think most of the YouTubers out there, we do it for the love of the videos, but we also get paid for it. I mean, we don't do it for free. And you guys have kept me, you know, paying my bills for the last, I know it's been like 6 or 7 years. And I appreciate that more than you know. So I do owe you guys. I owe you an explanation. I mean, you guys have a lot of hours committed into watching me and Deb, watching my videos, watching our live streams. You know, I kind of equate it to when you're watching a TV show and they build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up, and then they cancel the show right before the final episode, and you never see an ending to that video. Not that this is an ending, please. That's not what I'm suggesting. But what I am suggesting is that you guys have been with me for a long time, and I just felt like I owed you an explanation as to why I kind of dropped off the face of the earth on YouTube. So let's look at some of these comments, and then I'm going to log off and say thank you, guys. Audience isn't going anywhere. I appreciate that. You know, it really does, though. I mean, let's be honest. When I would do live videos before, I had hundreds and hundreds of people watching. I put a video up, and I get thousands and thousands of views. And now I put one up, I don't get that anymore. And I get it. It's not hard to build it back up. Once I know the algorithm, the reason why is because YouTube doesn't let a lot of people know that I'm live or I put up a video because I haven't put any up. But I still have almost 70,000 subscribers. So as I put videos up regularly, I'm quite sure the audience will come back because the algorithm will pick it back up and start spreading the word. I get it. So I'm not really worried about that. But I do thank you, NCO87, because, yeah, it's tough because, you know, your audience could be gone forever. But I like to think that the people who watch me over the years and Debbie know that we're real people. We're not just, you know, the face in the box, the talking head. You know, we do this because not only do we like making the videos, but more importantly, we love cruising, and that's our number one thing in life. And we love helping people share the experience that we love, the most important thing to us. And when we help somebody else find that love, sorry, I didn't even shave for this, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, I think you guys know where I'm getting at. Read some of these. I know folks who've had 1 and 2 of your things, but no one has had all of them at the same time. Those who did have, they needed some distraction. Yeah, I agree. Rest is healing. Yep. Spend time with your family. I am. My family is, I have a great family. You have to do what's best for you. Keep your mind active. That's the hardest part. I got to be honest with you. It's all I can think about. I mean, we went out to the Olive Garden today. I ordered a nice meal, but by the time I get there, I couldn't eat. I had a few sips of my soup, but the rest of it, I just couldn't eat. Just didn't have it in me. You were the first Kluver I watched in 2006 thing. Thanks, Taylor. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you sticking with me all that time. It is humbling. I gotta be honest. I got lucky. There's no doubt about it. My very first video. So let me tell you a little backstory. Many years ago, I had a company called Carnival Honeymoons. It was carnivalhoneymoons.com. This is how I met Carnival. And it's kind of a funny story. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but ultimately we end up selling that business to Carnival directly. So now if you go to carnivalhoneymoons.com, you go directly to Carnival's honeymoon site. I guess you guys are doing it now. But we sold that to Carnival. That was a really good day. And Debbie was the vice president of Carnival Honeymoons until I got sick 10 years ago. And then we both retired. I had a business as well that I sold, a news business that I sold. And literally on the way home from the hospital that day when they told me I only had 2 years to live, I bought my dream car, my Hummer. We're driving down the road and Deb says, you know what? Screw it. You're buying it. Go over there. And we just didn't negotiate. We just walked in and we bought the car because I've always wanted to have a Hummer and she knew that. I don't even know where I was going with this. But anyway, I'm really humbled that you guys have stuck with me. Oh, I knew where I was going with it. So our very first video with our experience and our knowledge with Carnival, one day, just for fun, we put up a videos on how to save money on Carnival. And it was like 15 bullet points. By the way, it's the single worst video I've ever made. There's a horn sound in between every single one, and people just friggin' hated it. But it did get 4 million views overnight. Literally, one night, 4 million views. Not online anymore. I'll tell you why in a minute. I had no idea that YouTube paid you. But back then, you didn't have to apply for a partnership. I got an email from Google like 2 weeks later. Pretty much, I don't know, it wasn't this forward, but it pretty much said, hey, where do we pay you? I was like, pay me? What the hell are you talking about? And I did my research and I realized that yeah, Google actually owed me a lot of money for that video. So I gave my information, and next month I had a deposit in my bank account. But because of that, something happened that just doesn't happen to YouTubers. I got a lot of subscribers, like overnight. I mean, I went from literally, sorry, I went from literally opening my channel to the next day having, I don't know, I think I had like 8,000 subscribers overnight. So that never happens. So I got very lucky, and I watched the other carnival vloggers, and I watched them trying to get subscribers, and they work so damn hard, and it just makes me so angry when I see that they don't not getting the subscribers. That's why we do our live shows. I try to always bring other vloggers in with me so I can help them get subscribers. I love helping other vloggers. But I'm very humbled that there's a lot of people that have been with me from the very beginning. And I watch my videos, and I don't know. I don't think they're all that. I get it that they're helpful. That if you're cruising, a lot of the information I put out really helps a lot of cruisers. But I gotta be honest, I can't watch my bald head. It drives me nuts. I don't ever watch my own videos after I'm done editing it and I put it up. That's it. I never watch it again. But it is humbling, and I just want to say thank you guys very much, because you guys mean the world to me. Let's see. Matt watched those videos regularly. I know. I miss you guys so much, Matt and Crystal. We really got to get together. You guys are in Ohio now. We really got to come down and see you. We miss you guys so much. I met a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys have gone on cruises with me. We do our big group cruise. And I like to think those people know how much I care about you guys, because even though, like, our last cruise, I had 700 and something people on. And I get to know every single person. I'm up from 6 a.m. to about 2 a.m. every day. I put our itineraries under everybody's doors personally. And I will always sit down with anybody who wants to talk to me. And, I saw my last cruise, I saw another vlogger on there, had a group. And this person, I'm not going to say it was a man or a woman, I almost did because it might give it away. But they barely talked to the group. And I happened to see them at Mr. Sancho's. Our group was there, and their group was there. And this person didn't even hang out with their group. It was weird. I guess it's like, come sail with me, and you get the benefit of being on the same ship with me. When I do my cruise, and I'm not trying to sell my cruises, but when I do our group cruise, we have activities all day long. I mean, all day, all kinds of activities. And that's why I put an itinerary under everybody's door, and they say all of our activities that are just exclusive to our group, everything from cocktail parties that are free, and I mean, pretty much on. Very cool. I don't know who that is, but whoever's sailing is cool. But the point is, I get to know my people on YouTube and at the events I go to. I'm not going to say it was because I don't want to out them, but even in the hospital, some of my YouTubers just showed up at the hospital just to sit with me and hang out. One in particular I haven't seen in quite a few years, and he hung out with me all night. He was actually there while I had my brain scan, talked to me the whole time I had my brain scan, because he knew I was very nervous. He had to have known, because I never shut up when I'm nervous. But he literally sat there in the room. They did the brain scan in my actual room. They brought all the equipment in there because I was a fall risk, even though I walked around constantly. But yeah, and I put it on Facebook where I was, and my phone just rang nonstop. And I thought, when it first started, I thought, maybe I shouldn't have put what room number I was in. But no, it really helped me. It really got me through. So for all those people who showed up just to say hi and make sure I was okay, and the people who called me out of the blue just to say, hey, I saw you were in the hospital, and you're one of my favorite cruisers out there. It made a difference. Made a big difference. So thank you guys. I can't thank you enough. So anyway, let me know what you think. If you have any experience with any of this, let me know what you think I should think. I don't know. I'm just very confused. Thank you. I'm glad. I am truly glad to be back home. Just don't know what the future holds for me. Now I'm out of work. We got to pay bills, and and that just adds more to it. It's the whole thing's just a mess. The hospital doesn't want me to go back to work. I also work, so you guys know, when I'm not on a cruise ship. When we were shut down in 2020 for COVID, it was hard to make money because I also own a Carnival concierge company, which books travel for you guys at discounted rates, books only Carnival cruises, nothing else. I shouldn't say travel, book a Carnival cruise for you guys at a discount. But during COVID, that was gone. So a friend of ours that's literally right around the corner from our house owns a restaurant. And you guys know at that time, you couldn't get employees. So he asked me and Deb if we wanted to work part-time for him. And we said yes. And we've kind of been there ever since. And we don't make a ton of money there, but it gives us something to do during the week. And we do make enough to pay our bills. But I'm out of work now. They didn't, initially the hospital told me that they didn't want me going back to work until this cardiac thing was over. God knows how long that could be. I mean, I don't have an appointment with the doctor yet. I ultimately convinced them to let me go back to work. I'm going to go back Friday, see how it works. Thursday, see how things go. I don't know. Maybe I'm pushing my luck because they kind of want me to, like, you know, not get too excited or anything. But I don't know. What else you got to do, right? You got to pay your bills. And I got to support my family. So, let's see. Sal, I thought you are a travel agent. Well, we're not really a travel agent. Yeah, we're licensed and all that stuff. I don't sell anything other than Carnival. I have a direct relationship with Carnival. I only handle specific customers. Right now, my customers are you guys. One of the first things we ask people when they call is, you know, how did you get our number? And if they're not somebody who subscribed to our channel or part of our group, we're not there. That's why I don't call myself a travel agent. We're a concierge company. We work directly with Carnival. You never pay us a penny. Carnival pays me whether I book. I don't get to get it. We work directly with Carnival. I'm not going to get into how I get paid. That's, but for that, it is paid for performance, and you know, it is what it is. That's why my videos, you don't see other people, you know, bridge tours and engine room tours and all that stuff, because no other person has access to that stuff. Carnival knows me, they trust me. You know, Carnival, and the reason they don't is very legitimate, by the way. You know, Carnival doesn't know what that YouTuber is going to say when they leave that ship. So there's got to be a lot of trust. You know, if you want to sit down and you want to have an interview with the captain, or you want to have an interview with, you know, some senior staff, you know, I have lots of captain's videos. They don't want somebody who's going to go in there and give them a gotcha moment. You know, the last thing they want is to see a video on the internet of, you know, somebody, a YouTuber that got somebody senior to say something that they shouldn't. And I'm not about that. Carnival knows that, you know, if something gets said that shouldn't get said, I'll cut it out, because, you know, I'm very pro Carnival, obviously. And Carnival trusts me for that. And yeah, while I might cut something out you might be interested in, I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me. You know, Carnival's very, very good to me and Debbie. You know, you have to come on board with us. And some of you have cruised with us. Well, even on the group cruise, you guys know the access that I get on a ship, on our group cruise. If you've been on a group cruise with us, I don't think you've ever seen another group with the kind of access that we get for our group. So yeah, so that's it. I'm not a traditional travel agent. We don't do airfare. We don't book other cruise lines. We don't book land-based vacations. The only thing we do is help our friends and you guys with Carnival cruising. That's all we do. And that doesn't necessarily even mean we book your cruise. You know, if you need help with a booking and you can't get it through customer service, you know, you call our company, we can be that liaison for you. That's what we do. And I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that's what separates us from a traditional travel agency. The Grays, yes, you guys are going in 2026. I think you guys are going, yeah, I think I'm going to be on that one, as a matter of fact. I forget what it is, but I'm pretty sure I'll be on that. Oh, it does say with you and the Johnsons. I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones I'm going to be on. I do have some cruises coming up. I'll be honest with you, I think I'm going to cancel. I did officially cancel the group cruise that's coming up. And when I say I cancel, what I mean is if you've already booked, you have the option to still go. I'm not going to pull a rug out from under your eyes. But if you don't want to book, I've made arrangements with Carnival, because a lot of people, not to toot my own horn, but a lot of people come because of me and what I do for them on board. If you didn't want to book and you were cruise with us, you were getting a full refund, even though we were in the penalty period, and the nice big credit towards our next group cruise. Obviously, I'm not going to schedule that, so I know if I'll be alive this time. Um, yeah, it's scary. I haven't felt like this since the time they told me I was going to die 10 years ago. But I'll be honest with you, I feel like that's going to be the outcome of this. I know you're supposed to think positive. It's just tough. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. Thanks for watching. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. By the way, if you're watching this in my Facebook group and you're one of those trolls who just wants to cause trouble and is going to say, I don't know why he's on here, this ain't cruise related. This is absolutely cruise related. So if you don't like it, scroll by or leave the group. I could care less. If you're just one of those people who's going to come on to cause trouble, I don't care. Thanks, guys. I'm reading your messages as they go. I'm trying to stay positive, Tracy. I really am. But, I mean, I think we lived right next to you or 2 doors down back when I got sick the first time, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't that, Tracy? Or was I already... I think I'd gotten sick there, but I had the surgery when I moved here to the new house. I think. Anyway, that's it. Let the emotions out. I hate crying. It seems like that's all I'm doing. A couple more of these I'll read real quick. All right, cool. I'm going to go. And like I said, I'm going to read the comments faithfully on this video. So if you have any suggestions, advice, yes, I know I'm looking at my picture. I look like crap. If you have any suggestions, advice, I'm open. I'm open. I think you guys can tell I'm pretty terrified at the moment. All right, I'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody.
At Carnival, we believe fun is a choice. But it isn't always an easy one, because you've got stuff to do. Work stuff, life stuff, stressy stuff. Fortunately, we created an escape from all that stuff. It started a bit over 50 years